Thank you for being here today. Obviously, day one. Day one is what you wait for, what you work for this entire time. But day one for us is always going to be about mentality. It's going to be about physicality, identity, establishing all the things that go intangible with our program. Making sure our guys are starting to get a very good understanding of our systems and running those systems, as well as situational football. We combine that with technical work, fundamental work, processes, learning how to practice. We've got to build really good habits, like really, really strong, hardcore cultural habits that make us elite human beings who also be elite football players. So with the challenge right now being getting off that field quickly, getting your food, getting showered up, and getting to class early, because early is on time. So all these things come together when you have spring practice, but certainly it's that next phase for us. First day, some good energy, long ways to go. Right, we're kind of here. We want to go over there. We've got that big gap, but that's what you would expect in a day one. But there is good energy. We're not very deep, but we are working hard. And there's a lot of enthusiasm. They've done what they've been asked to do. So that being said, questions.
You mentioned a lot of T's. What about the insanity of more Cristobal being back?
Yeah, it's pretty insane. That's pretty insane. Because it's the first 100 days. I think it was today, or it was yesterday or today, where 100 days actually kick in. So, man, it still hasn't set in. But what did set in is that this journey began 25 years ago. 25 years ago. I'm like, wow, that's the first meeting with Coach Davis upstairs that led to this opportunity. So, yeah, the excitement is like through the roof and through the stratosphere to be able to get after it. Always keep it in mind that we've got to teach and teach and teach, and then keep some more as we mentor. But keeping the focus on them, I'll focus on my stuff. Someday maybe in I don't know, July, when we could have things settle down a little bit and then reflect a little bit. But no, without a doubt, it's absolutely it's awesome.
Mario first. How much therapy was this for you to get back out here on the field?
Oh, that's exactly what she wanted. We have services are today. This is exactly what she wants. And so it's all good. And again, the energy being around these guys, the enthusiasm is it's very real. And they know that, I go, I just go. And so today's about going and moving forward and making sure that everything that was ever taught to us, my brother and I, that's always carried on in our daily deeds.
There's a lot of teaching out there.
A lot of teaching. These guys are more teachable than I was growing up, that's for sure.
Mario, also my condolences, everyone, I think. You always talk about how meaningful it is to be back home, and you got to spend the last 3 months with your mom. How meaningful was that? And also, I met her when she was younger. Was she a woman who would have given you advice today? What kind of advice?
You gotta go to practice. Make no bones about it. I mean, that's exactly, and the coaches were asking, well, what are you doing here? I'm like, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Job's not done. Job's not finished. And that's what we are supposed to do. So, no, she is the best part about her. She's relentless, tireless. There's no give. He's gonna finish everything, and that's what we do. That's where we've been raised. So, I think it's good. I think it was incredible to be on Green Tree today. Man, I remember practicing out here as a player. I remember coaching out here as a GA and as a position coach or whatnot. So Green Tree is sacred ground, guys. When we step on that field, we got to understand that every time we step out on that field, that nothing but our very best will be good enough. It doesn't mean that the plays are perfect or the technique is perfect, but it means that every ounce of what we have has to be poured into what we do, and that's got to be the secret sauce of the Miami Hurricanes. It always has been, the way we work, the way we practice.
Coach, we'll do a couple more questions for coaches. Got to get through service, but go ahead. We get to talk to the quarterbacks today, Tyler. Just, I know 100 days. What type of impression have they made with their approach?
Those guys, they approach their responsibilities, their obligations like professionals. They're all about ball. They're in there spending extra time in the film room. They're hunting down coaches to get extra time with them as well. They're all about it. And they are great leaders, and they lead by example. And then you could feel them too. Their presence, they're vocal, and they're vocal in the right kind of way. Sometimes when you have young leaders, they kind of just spew out whatever they feel at the moment. These guys are they're very intentional with everything they say and everything they do. And so very impressed with them. And just overall, I think the best message, we have to learn how to practice before we learn how to play. And as long as we continue making progress there, we'll be where we need to be at the end of spring and then heading into, the summertime.
Last,
We're good. We got a couple more. I go.
You mentioned, kind of a
I'm
lack.
sorry, brother. You're good.
I don't want you to be late.
You mentioned a lack of depth. A lot of guys were out for spring. How much does that affect you guys, not just in the spring, but going into fall?
It does, and it helps as well. Hopefully, I know Cam got you guys an injury report, so that way you guys have it. So that way, guys, we can always be open and transparent as much as we can be without giving up anything game plan wise. And therefore, that way there's no narrative out there. So some guys are limited. We'll see them later in the spring. Not having those guys, man, you'd like to, from a performance standpoint, you'd like to see the highest level of performance by your team. When you don't have some of your more talented players and some of your more experienced players, performance is going to suffer. Execution is going to suffer some, but that's okay because it will during the season also. God forbid there is an injury. There is some type of substitution that you have to make an adjustment. But there's a tremendous positive to that, and that's other guys getting reps. Other guys are getting tapped on the shoulder being told, hey man, it's your time. And that's how we've trained. The difference is now there's pushback. Right? We've been training against whistles and horns and sleds and all that stuff, right? Finish lines. But now it's bodies on bodies. Now it's leverage. Now it's physicality. Now there's got to be pushback. Now there's got to be finish. And now the biggest part there has to be an agreement. They have to we have to allow ourselves to be pushed, all of us. We all have to be challenged. We all have to be pushed to reach our very best.
Coaching
Coach
staff,
Ace.
kind of specifically a lot of the off-field guys, it's a huge staff, it seems like. Just how important was that for you to be able to build a staff like that has, like Jason Taylor?
Well, I think some of it's important, especially for recruits out there and their parents. Here, it's a little bit different because I get the privilege of being and the honor of being the head coach. I played here. This is not a tag or a label or a shirt you just on. This is in the heart. Then you hire a staff that is widely regarded, the best professionals in the industry at their respective positions. You surround them with guys that are Hall of Famers, high-level experience, that have also gone back to high school and coached at a high level and won state championships. It's a tremendous combination of hard-working, high football IQ, high character, high work ethic individuals that allow us to develop at an extremely high level. We want when a player and a prospect, you saw some of the recruits out here today, when they show up here, you want them to feel that their son is going to be challenged, pushed, educated, taught, mentored, watched over like it's their very own son by the best of the best. So that's that's our flow. That's our flow chart. The intention of that is, again, to get the very best out of every individual and to make sure we're creating a think tank upstairs where we're generating good, strong ideas that help us get better as a program. I don't think SAS or recruiting is ever done. I just think it's like it just keeps going and going and going because you just never know, right? The NFL makes moves, you make moves, guys pop up. There's opportunities here. You can expand, your flow chart, and you can add people. So I hate to say it's done. I don't think it's ever done. That's a good thing.
Thank you, Coach.
Guys, hey, thank you very much for your thoughts and prayers. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for being here today. Enjoy the guys, okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
That's next level shit. He was like, nah, I got time. I could talk. He was like, nah, Cam, I got time. I could talk. That's next level shit right there. Listen, man, I'm 10%. I don't know how long I'm going to have to pull this charge out or something, man. We winding down real fast, but that was. I know y'all felt that. Could y'all hear? Give me thumbs up if y'all can hear him clearly. Got big down.
All right, guys, we got defensive end Jahfari Harvey. We can go right into questions for Far.
So what's it like working with Jason Taylor?
It's great. Learning from a legend. We got a lot out of it already.
because he's been in the league like 15 years, so he's passing out a lot of experience already from the first day out.
Coach Dyke, I guess, what's he like as a guy?
Great, they both got pro experience, so we just bucking them, trying to figure out everything they know so we can use for our game.
That was the first practice of the Mario Cristobal era.
It was different. It was great. We emphasizing physicality, trying to grind, get in there. I feel like when we're great shape, we're moving around constantly, so we'll always run around somewhere. So I feel like better condition-wise.
Coach Cristobal's always been a raw guy. You see some of that insanity off everything they do on the first day of spring practice.
We got some other coaches, everybody making us work, how it's supposed to be. Everybody getting on us, coaching us hard, a whole bunch of, how I say it, getting on our tail.
Did you feel like you guys were physically in as good shape as you could be after this fourth quarter program?
Yep. It's nothing like football shape, so it was hard to get to that. But as we practice, we're gonna get in better shape as we practice.
Jahfari, this is a big time for you, just personally in your football career. Like, do you feel that urgency a little bit now going into the spring practice?
Yeah, definitely, especially being an older guy now. I'm about to be senior next year, so I feel like I'm gonna help the league, make sure everybody's doing the right things, make sure guys know what they got to do. Like you said, it's a big if because like my last year, so it's all good.
Coach's mom was a pastor last week. I saw you guys were saying condolences, but for him to be out here first day of practice, just losing his mom, obviously his dedication to you guys. Can talk about that?
He's a tough guy. It takes a lot for somebody to do that, and that shows. He really cares. He comes out here, he coaches to the fullest. It's like you don't even know anything happened.
What was Coach Bell like?
He's making his work. We had a great off season. Like I see a lot of improvement. All the guys, everybody getting stronger. A lot of different backs coming up. You can tell that just looking at people with their shirt off. Everybody just kind of ripped up right now. They did a great job preparing us for spring.
How much does confidence and optimism grow? You've seen it one way, now you're seeing it a different way. How much optimism do you think growth this team has made just from the offseason to where we're at right now?
Everybody just comes in every day, ready to work, ready to attack the day, because they make sure that's an emphasis on us. So every time we come in the building, we're laser focused, locked in, just ready to attack the day.
If somebody said to you, what's the difference? You talk about how good everybody looks, how hard everybody's been working. If somebody said to you, what's the difference in the last couple of months from the previous few years that you've been here, what would you say?
The biggest difference, it's everything. I would say this is practice. I feel like practice is like getting us really football shape. Football, you're going hard, you stop like I'm saying, you're going hard again. I feel like this practice is going to get us the best shape we've ever been in, really. So I feel like this is the first day.
See guys
Last question.
reading it out. They gotta go
Got easy
right back
goes in the background.
in. Guys going up on the side, they gotta go right back in.
Yeah, that's football, baby. You got to do that. You got to grind through it. So,
Thanks
so
for
they do that.
Thank you.
We got Jake and Tyler back here.
All right, guys, we'll go right into questions for quarterback Tyler Vandyke.
Tyler, what was that intensity like, the first day? Mario Cristobal's a real fiery guy. You guys see them today on the first day.
Yeah, we definitely saw that. We've been having this program workout, so we've seen it through that. And we're excited for that. He's intense, but that just goes on identity and physicality.
Has it been different for you coming in knowing hey, I'm the starting quarterback now, so it's like last year, before when you were playing behind other guys?
I'm just going to go out there and compete every day, do what I can do to my best ability, just get my teammates right, just work.
Tyler, there's a lot of structure going on. A lot. How's Frank working with you guys and just the coaching, the teaching that's going on right now? How valuable is it?
Yeah, man, he's a great coach, great guy. He does a great job with all of us, all the quarterbacks in there. Even Coach Gaddis helps us out too. And, they're great coaches. We're really excited to work with them.
What if, obviously, Coach Gaddis, we saw him working a lot with the wide receivers, but just what, I'm sure you watched some of the Michigan teams, just What do you kind of think of him as an OC so far? Kind of offensive program?
Yeah, obviously, he was the top overseeing coach last year, so we're really excited to have him. We have a lot of good players in there right now. I mean, he's only grade one, so yeah, we're coming together. Still a lot of work to put in, so it'll be good.
You guys obviously had a really good offense by the end of last year. Is there like a sense that you guys are going to kind of keep doing some of what you were doing last year and just try to build on it, or is it total fresh start?
Yeah, I talked to Coach Gaddis about stuff that we did well last year. He's going to try to implement that. But, we're bringing in stuff. Other than that, most of the stuff is pretty similar. I mean, there's a little bit different things, but other than that, we have similar things.
Tyler, what's practice like when you're missing a lot of key guys aren't here? You know, they're hurt or they're not limited. Coach Cristobal said, you'd love to have them all there, so it looks a little different. But what did you notice about practice today, missing some of those key guys, especially on offense?
I mean, yeah, there's a couple guys out, but the next man's got to be ready and step up. So we trust every single guy on the team, whether it's freshman to senior. Everyone's got to know what to do.
Tyler, what was it like having Mario as a head coach? Was it a different feel? I know he's very energetic, and also he told us he's going as much, which is very amazing.
Yeah, I mean, he's an energetic person. I'm glad he's here. One of the top head coaches in the country coaching us. So as a team, we're very happy and we're very grateful to have someone like that coaching us and have that chance to be a really good football player.
Does he walk around to all the position groups kind of and make comments?
Yeah, he'll walk around practice, talk to the quarterbacks, running back, etc. Just gives input, things. So.
What are your first impressions of Frank Ladson so far?
Yeah, he's a big dude. He'll go up there and get the ball. He's gonna make big plays for us, so we're really excited to see him.
Have you been like catching them so fast since he got in?
Yeah, I mean, we'll throw before spring ball started. We throw probably 3-4 times a week. All the receivers, just getting here, working on the timing and timing.
What did you see from Dyke and the other quarterbacks and watching their reps?
Yeah, I thought they did a good job today. As a group, we have a lot of stuff to work on still. And it's going to take time. First day, start with a new offense. It's going to take time. So we're definitely really excited to get the run out there.
What do you think of Jaleel Skinner? Pretty big.
Yeah, he's pretty big. He's also going to put on more muscle too. So, but he's going to be a great player here. And, he's really big get for us.
I want to ask about Logan. Oregon. Just obviously we saw the squat videos. I know you think this is strong, but just what's he like personality-wise? How do you feel for him?
Yeah, he fits in well. Actually, when he came on his official visit, right before he moved in, I ate dinner with him, his family. Great people. We're glad he's here. Impact on the field and the weight room, as you guys saw. So he's a great person.
During Mario press conference, he considered you one of the top quarterbacks in the nation. Did you know he was going to say that, and how did it make you feel?
No, I didn't know that. Obviously, it makes you feel like you're one of the best, But at the same time, you got to keep going to work. You can't let that get to your head. Get big head. You got to keep working. It's the bottom lifts, So if you just stay at the top and think you're going to be at the top, it's not going to work. You got to keep working hard.
Has your body changed at all? From last year, way more muscle, less fat, whatever.
Yeah, I lost like 1% body fat, gained like 6% muscle. So it's been good. The strength staff did a great job of making it. I think everyone agrees. I don't think a single person did it. So they did a good job.
What, Jahfari, right? Yes, exactly. What was it like having him? It's always tough, right? His first day, and he's a big guy also.
Yeah, he's a big guy. He's going to be a big man too. He's really long. You guys know. He's going to take a little bit of time to get everything going in his mind, but he's going to be a really good player, and you guys should give something. Awesome.
Thank you, Tyler.
4%, now we won't finna down, Jake. Jake over here doing Pilates or yoga or something. We about to die. I don't know, but we got 4% left. We might not make it, so y'all look at him right now. There you go. Mr. Garcia, coolest motherfucker on camp. Just the phone's picking up the mic. Yeah.
Hey, treat it like
If y'all saw how beautiful she was, y'all would be excited.
Quarterback Jake Garcia.
How did it feel just to be back?
It felt great to be back. I've been waiting for this for a long time. Since the day that I got hurt, the day that I got surgery, I've been waiting to come back. just been working. I'm super thankful for the whole staff that's been behind me, my team that's been behind me, and really just the rehab guys. We have the Breakfast Club. All those guys have kept each other straight in their minds, right, throughout the whole process of everybody coming back. So it's a great time to be back.
Who's in the Breakfast Club?
You have John Campbell, you have Don Chaney, you have Mike Redding, you had Kenneth Harris is in there. Who else is in there? Corey Gaynor. We had some people in there. And it was the early morning Breakfast Club, go in there and get the treatment, before everybody else comes in.
How early was that?
We were in there about 6 o'clock.
You guys kept it fun though?
We kept it fun.
You look like you were running real well out there today. That's the first part of my question. The second one is just like Mario. I mean, what the difference was like with him out there, his energy, and I know his mom passes over. That's a lot.
Right. Well, first, I want to say thank you for showing me. I was running well. The last time you guys or anybody publicly had seen me run was the incident. But I mean, just the whole today felt great. It felt great with with all the coaches out there. Just having everybody together again. And we're obviously learning new systems, offensively and defensively. So that's a lot to process and a lot to handle. But I mean, I feel like we're doing well with it, and we're just going to keep pushing it every day. We're getting better and better every day. And obviously, condolences to Coach Cristobal and his family, and we'll be with him, prayers for him. But that's definitely a man that we're super excited to have leading us in the charge.
What have been your first impressions of Coach Gaddis?
It's gonna shake a little bit. Yeah.
First
Hold on for a
Coach
minute.
Gaddis, Coach Carr. Definitely somebody that's going to hold you accountable. Most of them are people that are going to hold you accountable. And just push you to a place that you'll be. Obviously, it was my first practice with them, with them being around. But I mean, I love the coaching points that they've given me today. We're going to come back later today and review the film.
And this is super happy.
Yeah, no, it feels great. I mean, just even working for this. Like me and Coach Brown, we have a pretty good bond. And like we had our mindset meetings and we bring the team back in, and we'll go over and just like little tips that are going to help us throughout the game, throughout every single day. And just neutral thinking was one of our things that was being preached, and that was huge for us. You see a video of Aaron Donald. He comes out and he says, "You've been working for this. You've been working for this." That's kind of like the mentality that I try to have going out there. You have the big air conditioner right there that when you go out, when it hits you, that's me flipping my switch. So I'm like, okay, you've been working for this. You've been working for this. Come on, just think about like Breakfast Club. Like you've been up early. You've been trying to get your ankle back. You've dealt with a lot. Like come on. You've been working for this. Went over the film. That type of thing. So it's a great feeling to get back.
You talked about the incident, except that when we saw the incident, you looked really good. We didn't even know you were hurt. So how are we supposed to know when you get hurt?
That's the thing. You can't let anybody know that. When I felt my ankle, you know how if you know you messed up and like, oh, like man, I cut my finger. Like your body gets kind of hot. I felt that feeling right away, and I was like, I probably broke my ankle, but I can't come out because I didn't throw the touchdowns yet. So, you know what I'm saying? Going to halftime, we had a long halftime. My ankle was acting up. Just kept moving on it, really. And then ended up being able to throw my first college touchdown and my second one. So it was Mello and Kobe, and those were two of my roommates. And then Bashard also was my roommate at the time. So Tyler hit him on a little flat route. He took it like 85 or 90 yards. So the whole dorm room that we had, the 4 people in the room, got to either get in the pin or throw. So.
Hey Jay, so a couple more questions for you. The way Tyler finished last season, playing unbelievable, 20 touchdowns, 3 picks, whatever. It might have been easy for you to say, forget it, right? He's going to be the starter next year. I can enter the portal. How much did that enter your mind? And obviously you're still here. So I guess why did you come back? And why do you like this place so much?
You got to embrace competition. You definitely have to embrace competition. I feel like that makes you better. I feel like that makes the team better. That's something that we've been preaching. Is just a competitive mindset. You welcome competition, right? And huge hats off to Tyler. And Tyler worked so hard. I saw him, and while after I got surgery, I was still going to meetings and everything with the quarterback room, and Tyler was in there working, and Tyler would come back later, and Tyler would handle all his business, right? As far as football and off the field too. So huge hats off to him for that. And just getting his mind right in the playbook. But obviously, both of us have to, and the rest of the team has to come back and do the same thing. Just because you had a good year last year, from a defensive standpoint, offensive standpoint, it doesn't matter. Special teams, you got to turn the page because we have a new year ahead of us and we have a new staff. So we got to all learn that. But no, I definitely enjoy the competition part of it. I feel like we both push each other, and it's a friendly competition.
You look like
Last question.
You look like you enjoy being there. You were on the sideline in the huddle with your teammates the last couple of games, and I don't know. It seemed like you just like being here, man.
No, Miami's home. I feel like the community has embraced me. My teammates have taken me in. The staff and just everybody here has taken me in. And I can't thank them enough for that. Being this far away from home. I have my parents here, but still just being this far away from home and having everybody take me in is huge for me. And it feels like home to me. We're going to make it great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you guys. Shut up.
All right, man, we done. We get up there. Give a fire somebody to speak. We just had give a fire something for y'all. I'm gonna let y'all see what y'all was listening. Y'all check it out real fast. Great show. So listen,
What's going on, bro? Chill, man.
How you doing?
You all right, man? We ain't mean to be that early on you, man. I don't know the information.
Hey, I didn't even tell Florida State yet. I'm like, damn.
I know,
They
man.
sent that to my phone. Boy, I've been there too.
I know, because we were like, damn, they ain't announced it yet. We were like, man, we were early. Man, we were kind of early on that ants, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we were early. I'm like, boy, ain't nothing you can do about it.
Nah, good to have you here, bro.
What's it? Oh,
Nah, good to have you here, man. That's Savage Joseph. Y'all thought I left y'all, huh? But I didn't. I'm in this thing. I'm back. Told y'all what I did. That was Savage Joseph. Y'all remember the whole Elizabeth Saint debacle throwing up the U. Now he at University of Miami. You know what I'm saying? I just had to apologize to him for us coming out with the info a little early. But he was a good sport about it, man. So yeah, man, I'm back, man. So y'all gonna shut the thing back around. We're gonna talk for a little second. As I head to the crib. Hey, you gotta be 40. You gotta be 40 years old to say Chris Hill. You gotta be 40 years old to say Chris Hill. But yeah, that was Savage Joseph. So yeah, man, y'all saw that. What am I? I'm looking out. I ain't know what I'm looking at, man. That was one of the more interesting interviews we've been a part of. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. We had Cam trying to shut it down. We had Mario saying, nah, we got time. That was kind of funny. Let me make sure I get locked in. So y'all don't die again on me, man. Make sure I get this thing right so y'all don't die on me again, man. Yeah, we being hood right now, but we gotta get this thing locked in. Oh boy. But yeah, that was Sab Joseph. I don't know what's going on. Phone won't. There you go. We're charging now. We good. We straight. All right. So man, listen. I could call, answer some of y'all questions now, man. Was y'all able to hear? Were y'all clear? Was everything clear? Were y'all able to hear him clear? Hear them talk clear? I hope so. Shout out to my real fans. Shout out to my fans that sat right here. That new street wasn't gonna leave them hanging. That sat right here until I came back through. You know, y'all knew I wasn't gonna just leave y'all hanging like that. It was about 200 of y'all in here. Shout out to y'all that sat right here who lunch break wasn't over.